Welcome back to Gals Night.
I'm Maggie Galelli.
And I'm Julianna Galelli. And
today,
what we doing, Jewel? What we doing?
Okay, so this was Jewel's idea, so I'm going to let her take this one.
So,
you know we start every night with a fun drink.
Happy Friday. Tonight,
Yup.
we have an Olipop, but not just any Olipop. We have a little root beer Olipop.
Yup.
But me and Maggie had this discussion one time, and I was like, oh, I used to love getting root beer floats from Wendy's or something when I was younger. And she was like, root beer floats? Like, what do you mean? And I was like,
she would go to Wendy's and not get a Frosty.
I loved root beer floats. So I saw it on TikTok and I sent it to her and I was like, oh my God, we have to make this.
Here's the thing. I'm not, and like we can play the footage back because last week I said I'm not a root beer float girly. And then this week I'm drinking a root beer float. But I'm going to try it again because I have not had one in God knows how long. And it's an Olipop.
Can't be bad.
And Oatly ice cream. I love dairy-free vanilla. Come on.
Now. So have you ever had the root beer Olipop?
I have.
Okay. All right. So do you like it?
I love.
Do you like root beer?
Love.
Okay. So we're already
maybe
off
I do like it.
a solid
I don't
start.
know.
Okay. Maggie, talk
People
them
always
through.
say that. They're like, you like ketchup? I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, you like mac and cheese? I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, then put ketchup on your mac and cheese. And I'm like, no.
That's
Actually,
a stretch.
I don't like ketchup. I lied. But
Thanks for clarifying.
that was just in case y'all were wondering. But do you ever have someone do that where it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you like?
And I'm like, yeah, I like mustard. I like dark chocolate, but we're not going to
Two
mix
of them together.
But together?
Don't yuck their yum. Come
Okay,
on
okay.
now.
I know, you're right.
So you like
I like both of these.
root beer and vanilla ice cream. So put it all together.
All
Put
right.
it all together.
Mix it all together.
Ooh.
Did you like that? Did you like what I did there? Okay, I'm going to let you just make me this drink.
You got to talk me through it because I have no hands here. Okay. Tell
Okay.
me what I'm doing.
Okay, Miss Juliana is opening the Olipop. Here's some ASMR for you. Come on, Jewel. Yes. Okay.
All right.
She's giving it a good sniff. You know
Always
the
sniffing.
rules.
No,
She
you can probably
is
split one for now.
Truly. Okay, so I feel like we should have done ice cream first because she's going to plop right in there. But but you know what? Uh-oh, kids.
Sit on it.
Sit on it. Okay. Ooh, that looks good. In the soda.
I never had this ice cream.
Me either. She's plopping it in. There goes the ice cream. Okay.
Have you ever had a root beer float?
I have, like a very long time ago. And I remember not liking it. But I'm older. I'm wiser.
Should I put more ice cream in?
And I don't know. You're the root beer float queen.
Oh.
This
I
is
never
why I
made
had
one.
you. You used to get them at Wendy's
Many moons ago.
many moons ago.
All right. That should be good.
There's something unsettling about that just floating in there. Okay.
It's a flop.
Cheaters! Could be a flop. You never know unless you try. All right, ready, girl? Brother. I'm scared.
I can't stop laughing. I probably look so ridiculous making this right now. Yo, don't yuck my yum, brother. No doubt. That's good.
I didn't get nothing. I can't even get to the ice cream, Jewel. I can't. You're gonna make me. I have white pants on. She had to leave. Jewel. I'm giving that a straight 3 out of 10.
What? That was so good.
She said,
Are you
what?
kidding me?
Okay. I don't know. Root beer float, not for me.
Bro.
I'll still drink it though.
I like it. I give it like a 7-1.
7? My brother has these rules, and I don't know if
What's
he
wrong?
made them up or if this is like Dave Portnoy's thing. Everybody knows how Dave Portnoy does the pizza. One bite, everyone knows the rules. He rates it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think my brother did make this up though. His scale is that 7, you're traveling. Like, it's that good that you're gonna travel for it. Like
8 or 7?
7, you're
Oh.
gonna travel for it. Like, I'll travel all the way up an hour away for this pizza if it's in the 7s. 8 is one of the best you've ever had. No. I think I'm getting it wrong. 8, you travel. 9's one of the best you ever had. 10 is like out of this world. You can't even touch it. So 7's coming close to you're going to travel for that. But this is a made up criteria that my brother made up.
In that case,
what are we giving it?
No. Let me readjust. Maybe a 4-9.
There you go. It's all made up.
Listen,
But you know what?
I
Let me give her another try.
I genuinely like root beer floats. Don't come for me.
I don't like it.
Did you just was that a gag?
I was like,
All right, you just drink the Olipop, okay?
okay, brothers. Ollipops are $4 a can. I'm gonna drink it. Okay. All right.
You're being dramatic.
It's something.
It's vanilla ice cream and root beer. Come on now.
It's like every time your mom tastes something, her mom is so funny with her like facial expressions, and every time she tries something.
Toughest critic around.
Yup. If Annie G likes the food somewhere or the drink somewhere, you know
It will be known.
it's that good.
It's that good.
Or if she doesn't like it, you will also know. My mom's the same way. I'm like, Mom, relax. Like, she got the bill the other day, and me and my dad were like, stop being a Karen. The bill came, and it was really expensive. We got like 2 eggs each, and it was a ridiculous amount of money. Whatever.
Eggs each.
But she looked at the bill, and she was like, and the waitress hardly
They
even
get
walked
so
away yet. I
mad.
was like, Mom, relax.
They get so mad.
Moms
Why?
cannot hold
It's
in their
because
reactions to stuff.
They've been there, done that. They just don't care
Well, they're
anymore.
just not used to spending. I am so used to spending like $20 on an acai bowl.
True.
Our
I'm like, oh,
generation
that's
is
so
like-
cheap.
I'm like, oh, $20 for an acai bowl? Sure.
Why not? If it makes you happy, if a root beer float gonna make you happy, then I'ma have it.
Not I. I'm picking the drink next week. I'm just kidding. No, it's.
All right, y'all. Fine. Enough said. Alone, the Olipop root beer flavor though is very good. Highly recommend.
Yes.
If you like root beer.
Clearly,
It
we
tastes
love
just
our
like a
Olipop.
regular one. Yeah,
It really does.
it really does.
Well,
We're gonna have to.
Stuart Little. You know, like Stuart's. Isn't I
Stuart-
saying that right?
What?
That sounds weird.
Well, Stuart Little.
I'm like, yeah, but Stuart Little.
Yeah, but you know that mouse, bro. You know that little guy.
that little mouse I love. No,
The Stewart's root
Stewart's-
beer.
every time I say Stuart now, it sounds weird. Ever say something too
Stuart?
much? Stuart. Stewart's. I'm like a little hyper right now. Stewart's root
Root
beer.
beer.
They used to have a
It's
stand on
good.
the boardwalk.
Yes, they're a classic.
That is the best. Me and my dad used to bike up there. We would get an ice cold root beer
Oh,
in a glass bottle,
love that.
and that was elite. But Olipop, you're coming in. You're coming in close.
Pretty
second.
good. Pretty good. Highly recommend.
So, getting to the real stuff.
now that we got the fun drink out of the way, and all jokes aside,
All jokes aside, we're first going to talk about our summer wellness routine. What we're doing to feel our best this summer.
woohoo! Yes.
I'm excited to hear from you, Jewel, because Jewel has recently been on like a big wellness kick. I'm excited to hear about your wellness routine, what you've been doing.
Me.
I'll tell you about mine, and we can compare notes.
Let's get into it.
Okay, get into it, yeah. Okay, first thing, I know this is on yours as well, is sunshine.
We're going to start with the morning.
Getting the morning sun is so important, and it's really trendy right now too. I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. I listen to Huberman Labs all the time. He talks
Shout
about
out.
it. Anything he says, I'll believe and do. I love his stuff. But there's a ton of research that supports that, getting morning sun, like sun right when you wake up.
Yup.
Within, what is the time frame?
Should be within the first hour at least. And they technically, if you want to get fancy with it, you don't want to like look at your phone or anything else in the meantime, and
no
like
artificial light.
really limit blue light, artificial light, and get your eyes right to that sun.
Yes. Really helps
which
with
is
your
really
circadian
hard.
rhythm, and I've definitely been sleeping better. I do believe that.
Yes, totally.
And it makes me happier. Now, here's the thing, though. I get my morning sun by taking a walk in the morning. So I don't have a porch or a deck or somewhere comfortable to sit that gets sunlight. So I just take it with my walk, which is a good way to get it
That's
if
a
you
good
don't have
way.
a place to sit. But yeah, so I don't know if the walk and the exercise is also making me happier and sleep better. Might be a combination of all the things, but
Yeah, totally.
I don't wear sunglasses either. I just like let the sunlight get into my eyes, and that's what they say you should do.
Yes.
So
yes, guys, you need to implement this.
definitely
You
getting
really,
sunlight
really
is
do.
good for you in general, but getting it first thing in the morning is the top of my list on my summer wellness routine
Soup's important.
for sure.
Yes.
And then, do you have anything? What have you been incorporating anything new into your wellness routine lately?
I've been really into red light therapy. Have a red light lamp.
I do too.
So
of course we do.
Of course.
How often do you do that?
I try to do it every day. Sometimes
Oh my
that
gosh,
doesn't
she's an
happen.
icon.
I try to do it.
I get to it maybe once a week. I should do it more. But you have one that's like a stand. It almost looks like a boombox to me or something.
Boombox.
What is a boombox? I just grabbed that out of the back of my mind. But it does. It has like a
boombox.
little handle, doesn't it? Or like a, maybe not. Or just like it looks like
It's literally
little
just a
square.
box. It's just a box.
It's a boombox. Okay.
We can call it a boombox.
It's a boombox red light. And how do you, walk me through that. Alex Cooper.
I'll do it.
Walk me through.
Love her.
I love her too.
I used to do it in the morning, but I actually found out that may. Yes. No. Hold on. Let me rewind here. Got it. I used to. Let me buffer for a second. It just buffered.
It did just buffer.
I used to do it in the evening time, like nearing the end
Wait,
of
I
the
always
day.
do it before bed.
Right? So
Tell
I
me about
thought that
this.
was okay. And I would just
It's not
sit
good
there
at
for
night.
about 15 minutes, let it hit wherever on my body, just get the general red light in. And
Do you wear the goggles? Do you wear goggles?
I used to a lot,
I do.
but I try to, but if I'm like really like in a pinch, I just close my eyes real tight.
I'm so scared to look at it. I'm so scared. I like looked at it for 3 seconds and I was like, oh my God, I'm blind. It's not that
Blind.
dramatic, is it? But
No, it's okay.
mine
You're gonna
didn't
be
even
okay.
come with goggles. I had to order them from Amazon.
That's scary.
Well, I got it on Mercari.
There you go. There you go.
But it was like brand new in the box.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
But whatever. So you
So
do
I
it.
found out
Oh, right.
that actually may mess up your circadian rhythm because it may mistake the red light as like the sunshine or something like that. So it's going to like throw your body all off. So
Whoa.
now I try and do it in the morning, which is hard because you're usually in a rush
don't
to
have-
work or,
Yeah.
going to a workout class or something on the agenda. But I try to do it in the morning, and actually if
And you get
it's
to it
like-
almost every day?
I try to. I don't realistically get to it every single day, but I try to.
You are a queen for
I used to be a lot better, but now it's been tougher because I've been busier. But
Yes.
also, if you just kind of let the red light be on in the background while you're doing things in the morning, if you can't get to like the sunlight right away, it kind of like supplements for the sun in a way. So that's what I've been told.
That's a really good.
Yes.
That's a really good idea.
Or if it's like a rainy day, red light, I heard, can supplement for the sun. So
Cool.
I don't know.
I have one that looks like it's a stand, and then it has one of those little like gooseneck. I don't know what you call that. And then the light is attached to it, so you can move the light. I set it up shaped like this, facing down, and then I lay underneath of it, and I just get it on my face because for me, the red light, the major benefits that I wanted to see from it was skin, helping my skin and boosting collagen and all that kind of stuff. But I honestly haven't seen major improvements in my skin. Like I said, I only get to it like once a week for 5 minutes. So maybe I need to do it more often, or maybe the benefits are more apparent later in life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not sure.
It's supposed to prevent wrinkles and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'll keep up with it. It's something worth
trying, right? Can't hurt. And
I forget
there
the
is
brand of
research.
mine. I'll have to, but a dermatologist, esthetician person that I follow, who's a real doctor with real credentials.
Not Bobby.
Not Bobby. I do love my Bobby though.
Bobby.
Recommended this and said it was medical grade. Not medical grade. I don't know the words, but said it was accurate and good, a good one. So
nice.
I found it on Mercari for $50, so I bought it. But the masks are probably awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would
I've
be
seen
easy
those.
if you can just
Sit with the mask
read
on.
or
but
they're $500,
it's a lot.
which is crazy.
Yeah. But
Anywho,
so we will link our red lights for you guys, but it's something worth trying for. Can't hurt. That's what I always say.
Totally.
What else?
Something I've been really trying to focus on is hormonal health because I have a whole host of hormonal issues going on, but something I've been doing, which is a trend going around right now, is cycle syncing. So I really try to match my workouts, my diet, my lifestyle around my cycle.
That's cool.
Have you heard? I've seen something that said a man's cycle is 24 hours. So our life.
I think I have seen this.
Okay, so our life and our whole life is built around a man's cycle. So their hormonal cycle goes for 24 hours. So their testosterone rises in the morning when they're ready to wake up and go start for the day, and drops at night when it's time for bed. So like their work day and everything is scheduled perfectly for what their body needs. So for a woman, it's monthly. So there's a week where I'm exhausted, tired, anxious, and then there's weeks where I'm feeling great, energized, and
yes, 100%,
totally. So it has been helping, I would say, being aware of what phase of the cycle I'm in, giving myself grace in each phase, just knowing like, okay, and learning about that is so important. Like I track it on my Aura Ring, but there's other apps that'll tell you what cycle you're in so easily for free.
Yes.
But I think that's really important and something I'm trying to give myself grace with, because if I'm like, okay, the luteal phase is approaching and I'm going to be bloated, I'm going to be hungry, this is just something that naturally I can't control. And I just need to embrace it. Like, I'm going to be bloated. The scale's going to go up. I'm going to be a little moody, and giving yourself warning, because you always see those memes online that's like, why was I so rude this week or moody this week? Oh, my period came. And then, but like warning yourself for it is, and like scheduling your workouts and diets around that. Like the fact that that's just becoming a trend is crazy, that women are just starting to
get into their cycles and their phases. And it's really crazy, because I feel like it's also not like pushed out enough by being in healthcare. Like I get it. Like there's a lot of like faults with it, like especially women's health. Like it's not pushed out enough. It's more just pushed to like, this is what we can give you to like regulate your cycle or whatever, but it's never like, this is like
the
a natural approach. Like here's how you should learn about your cycle.
You're never
educated on it. So it's important to take the time yourself to
I
really
didn't-
learn about it.
Jewel, did you know the names of the phases until recently?
I did
Well,
because of
you
nursing
are
school,
in nursing
but-
school, so
but it wasn't like really like studied on, and I didn't know my own phases for like the longest time. Like I was just like, oh, I got, whatever. But now I've been more into it recently. So yeah, I could agree with you. Like I really wasn't that.
yeah. Well, I didn't even know
that
the 4
involved.
phases of a cycle until very recently.
Yeah, and that's
And
normal.
I'm 28. I've had it for a really long time. So it is amazing. And I think it's awesome that women are starting to base their lifestyles now around their cycle, which I think we should. And it's made me feel so much better too, because sometimes I would be in a workout class or like, what am I doing wrong? Like I've been really, or like, why am I so
why am I
hungry?
so-
Like, you know what I mean? Or why am I so this or that or moody or just like things are bothering me today? And I'm normally a happy person. What's going on? And it really does make you feel better when you look into that. So if you haven't already, I would.
Yes.
And it's nice to look like, I'm like, oh, I'm in my luteal phase. I actually burn more calories in that phase, so I can eat a little extra, or it's okay to rest because I should. I need to prioritize rest in this phase. It just feels good to do that. So
Absolutely.
That's
the
major.
truth.
amen, sister. Yeah, that's a major thing in my, like, cortisol too is a whole nother thing. I feel like I could talk about this forever. We can cut this whole hour of me talking about this out, but I've also been researching too. Like I've been trying to like lose some weight, and I find it's been so hard, even though like if I'm in a calorie deficit or I'm like working out, like I work out like crazy. Like we teach spin and I will burn like 1,000 calories a day or something crazy. And then in talking to my doctor and researching like cortisol and stuff, and sometimes like those high impact workouts spike your stress hormones, and your body, like when it's stressed, it wants to hold on to fat and like things like that. So it's just interesting to learn your body and learn what works for you. So now I'm trying to balance it with more low impact workouts and things like that. So, and it's good to find a doctor that actually entertains that. When I try to talk about hormones with some of my other doctors, they like, oh, they're always changing. We're not going to test them, or we're not going to do this. But definitely look around until you find a doctor that will, if you feel like hormonal health is something that you want to prioritize. I think it's worth it. You'll feel amazing.
Absolutely. Love that.
Anyways, after like 3 hours of me talking about that.
No, that was so great. All great points. And if you couldn't tell already, we both have Oura rings. And I know if you're close to me, I've probably told you about this like 5 bajillion times, but it is simply like one of the best things ever.
Love it. And something I'm trying to work on right now is, did you notice the Oura ring has come out with new features about heart health? Did you see that? So my heart age is still calibrating.
Yeah.
Did it? Or like cardiovascular age. I'm dying to see what it gets for me. But then it says VO2 max.
Yes.
Too. And my Apple Watch says mine's really high. And then my Oura ring said mine was fair. But I have to do some walking tests or something to get it. But I don't know. I would love to improve that this summer and like, get my heart rate up and do more like walking, and getting my heart pumping and stuff like that. So
Get that heart pumping.
I'd love to. I want to walk more this summer. I've been trying to take more walks. It's definitely in my wellness routine.
Is so good for you.
Walking's so good for you. You don't always have to be sweating, panting, dying to get a good workout in. Like walking is one of the best workouts ever.
Very true. Yeah. So good.
Yes. And then I've been trying to prioritize in the summer. This is the best thing ever as far as wellness goes, is prioritizing whole foods. And it's the easiest in the summer because you can just hit a farmer's market, get some fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
I love that. So
Yes.
that is another wellness thing. Just like eating right, moving a lot, prioritizing sunshine.
Absolutely.
Hormonal health. Those are my main
Yes.
things, I think, as far as mine goes. Obviously, the other ones, like journaling, I do that. I try to do that every day. Gratitude, reading, moving,
Agreed.
laughing, loving, living. Period.
That's it. That is it.
Anything else?
I'm trying to think. We pretty much covered the main things.
You're really busy. You work a 12-hour shift. So how do you balance all your wellness stuff? Working a full-time job like that. One that's so demanding like that.
Right. We have very different like work schedules, but I think we could relate on a lot of the same things. Like sometimes you'll have a really nice work day and sometimes you'll have a really bad work day, and every day is not going to be the same or as easy as the day before. And I don't know, for me personally, I go through a lot of stress at work, and I've been trying to like
Is your aura ring ever insane?
Oh yeah. All the time.
Sorry to cut you off, but side note, this is hilarious. So my aura ring, it'll show you your stress throughout the day, and it has 4 categories, right? So it's like relaxed. Oh, no, restored. Mine is never restored.
Oh, I've
that
never.
is the most relaxed you can be.
It's the fact that I didn't even know that was an option because I'm never.
She said restored. I can't wait to watch this back and see your face be confused.
I was like,
she's like restored. Who's that? Restored is. I'm never restored. I've never been. Relaxed. I'm relaxed sometimes. Engaged. This is where I live. Engaged.
Yeah.
And then stress. I'm there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We visit her a lot. So stress is the highest. Now, it will tell you what time. It's a graph, and it peaks.
It's so cool.
It's so cool, and I'm not kidding you. It's real. You know why? Because every single day, me and my co-teacher were like in tears the one day laughing because when I first got it, I was all excited about it. I could not stop talking about it. I'm like, Kelly, that's her name. I'm like, Kelly, let's check my aura ring. Let's see like how my stress is looking. When I tell you, I'm a teacher, 1st grade. Enough said. At lunchtime, it goes whoop all the way down to relax. As soon as those kids leave the room, I'm relaxed. And then as soon as they come back from lunch at 12 or 11:40, it goes right back to stressed. Then prep time when they go to specials, whoop, back to relaxed. And back up as soon as, like the same time. We could look at the exact minute. I'm like, the minute they walked back in,
so
my
crazy.
Stress peaked.
That is so funny. Yeah, it's
being
true.
with all the kids, it's a lot. It's so overstimulating. Like 10 of them need me to tie their shoe, wipe their nose. One has a bloody nose. The other one hit each other. It's like so much happening at once. So my stress is through the roof. But I think it's accurate for that reason.
Oh, 100%. I'm always at the minimum engaged at work. I don't think I ever hit relax. Maybe like on break or like if we're having a really nice day.
I'm relaxed sometimes, but sometimes I'm still engaged.
But it'll know. Like if there's an emergency, like
whoop. Yeah, so if there's an emergency, like have you ever gone back and looked at the time?
Yeah. Like
and
the other
real,
day,
right?
like two or 3 days ago, I had like a rough day and I was like, oh my God, like it totally reflected. And like my ring knew, like it was not only like the next day, like you need rest, like you take it easy today.
Your readiness score goes
your
down.
Your readiness score plummets. Your heart rate was up during the night. You didn't sleep well.
I hate when I get those notifications.
It's
like your heart rate was elevated last night.
Yes.
And it is normally after I've had a stressful day.
Yes.
So it'll take all of your stress peaks and it'll tell you how long you were in the stressed zone. And then it'll just give you one big stamp for the day. Like this was a stressful day or this was a normal day. I've never gotten anything but I've never gotten a relaxed day. Is that even a thing? Normal, I've gotten, but stressful, I get a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that is something we need to prioritize this summer. It's not good to be stressed.
I know.
So stressed.
That's what I was saying. I'm trying to like manage stress better, especially like being at work. But some days it's just, some days are harder than others. So really, if I'm having a bad day at work, I just try and look forward to the off days. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave that at work and we're going to use our off days to really do something I enjoy, to relax. You don't always have to be doing something.
Your schedule is you have 4 days off.
Yes.
You work those 3 12s. That's crazy.
Yes.
But then you have your 4 days off to do things that you that you enjoy. So
that's the really good part about
that's helpful.
It is helpful. So I do get a lot of time
So
for
what's
myself.
your morning like? You wake up and do you sit on the deck outside to get your sun?
My work morning.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, well, usually I wake up before the sun comes up. So I try and minimize artificial light. I do have these light bulbs that, like I have a little lamp and I have these light bulbs that are like
That
yellow.
change color.
No, it's yellow. It's like yellow and it's like no blue light, but it looks like a normal light. So I'll have to tag them in the comments. But I try and like, keep everything cool until I can, which is honestly not realistic all the time because there's like artificial light all around my house. I can't go and change the light
Now,
bulbs
with the blue
in the
light,
bathroom, in the kitchen.
With the blue light, I always try to avoid it more at night, but you're supposed to in the morning, like right when you wake up?
Theoretically, until you get sunlight. But that's not
Oh, gotcha.
possible all the time. So I'll try and keep I have like a red light filter on my phone.
I
keep
do that
on
too.
at night in
I
the
do that at
morning.
night.
And then usually I'll try and get some sunlight. I'll either I try and catch it on the drive into work because the sun's coming up. So I'll put the windows down. I'll try and catch some sun. And then I try and get it a few minutes before I go inside to work. And I walk outside the hospital into the ER and get a few minutes of sun. So it's not a ton. It's kind of hard to get sun in the morning when I'm going to work.
What time do you have to be at work?
I have to be I'll be cutting it close, but I'm supposed to be inside before 7 a.m. So.
Okay, yeah, that's tough. That's really tough.
So.
It is. It's really hard. Right now it's easier for me. I live so close to work right now, but when I don't one day, it's going to be really hard to balance. But I was telling Jewel before we even started this, I think one of my biggest tips to being successful in your wellness or your fitness or your nutrition while working a full-time job is to plan everything out like crazy. And I know you do that too. You plan all your meals.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, if I'm trying to eat really well, I will plan all my meals out the night before. So if you're trying to count calories or whatever your goal is, I would say plan it out, write it in a notebook, write it in your notes. If you use an app, a fitness app, do that.
Yes.
That is, when you know what you're going to eat for the whole day and you have it already planned out, it's so much easier to say no to things or you know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh, I'll just grab this at lunchtime or, I'll just grab whatever's in front of me because I'm hungry or whatever it is. But that is definitely, or I plan my workouts for the whole week too.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm doing. It's like an appointment almost instead of.
Very good. Yeah. Instead of
just being what should I do? Because then I can't trust myself.
Then you push it off. So book that class, book that appointment.
Well, it's really easy when you have a class booked. I mean, you have to go.
Yes.
And it definitely makes it easier with some of these fitness classes. You get penalized if you don't attend. So that's good accountability. Mm-hmm. I think of it like an appointment. I have to go.
That's so true.
And I have it all marked in my book. I write it down Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to spin. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to do yoga or whatever it is. I'm going to walk. Mm-hmm. When I have it planned out, it's like, oh, I have to go. I can't not go. But if I give myself the liberty to be like, oh, what am I feeling today? I'm going to be like, I'm feeling the couch, babe.
Yes. Yes, always. Always.
Especially when you get done work. That's really hard balancing that. Trying to be healthy and having a full-time job is really, really hard.
It's really hard.
My friend and I always say, if you're the type that goes to the gym, definitely always pack your stuff. Get changed right at work or at the gym. Go right to the gym. Don't give yourself a second to even sit down or come home. That is where the dangerous zone is.
Very true. Because you're not getting back up.
I am not getting back up. There's no way. So, definitely planning is my biggest tip on that.
Is awesome. And prepping.
Meal prepping.
Oh my gosh. My friends at work, they always make fun of me. They'll be like, what you eating this morning, Joel? Oh, I got eggs. I got avocado toast. I got bacon. They're like, how did you wake up this morning and make, I'm like.
My co-teacher always says that. She's like, did you just make, I always have eggs with me. I always bring eggs and avocado.
Eggs are so easy to make
she has 2 twin toddlers. So she's like, how did you do that? I'm like, I don't have babies. that might help. Can fry 2 eggs.
That might help.
I will be right back. I'm going to change my sweatshirt. It's bothering me so bad. All right, quick little wardrobe change. I was not feeling comfy in that. I had to get real comfy.
Quick
I look like
change.
all white. Wait, what does Ludacris say? All white jeans, body looking like milk. That's me right now. Like now I'm like, do I look like a bride right now?
No.
Okay.
A little comfy.
Okay. I look like a little cloud. All right. Let me take another sip of this guy. I feel like way more like my whole demeanor has changed now that I have a sweatshirt on.
Still not loving it. And that's okay. You know, some people, to each their own. We'll leave it at that.
It's just like,
leave it at
why
that.
get this when you could have a chocolate frosty? I'm just questioning so hard. Was Wendy's like lit?
It was pretty good.
Did it taste like this?
I think. I can't remember. It was good. That's all I know. I liked root beer floats, period.
Period. No, I know. I was like, I'm not judging you, but I definitely have been. like play back all the clips of me being like, I'm like, why get this when you can get a frosty? And then I'm like, I'm not judging you.
I quit.
Joel, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing. I just wish I liked it more. It looked so fun.
If you try it, please let me know. Because
You should. It's still worth a try. Maybe it's
root
just me and my
beer
taste
float
buds.
stand up. Let me know.
Rise up!
I am not
Listen.
alone.
Comment frosty if you think Joel's an idiot. No, I'm kidding. He's going to be like, your mom. Like, frosty.
Trolling.
Oh, my God.
All
Okay.
right, fine.
Now that I look like a baby angel, let's get
Never again.
into the next
Never
topic.
again.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about balancing a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
While working a full-time job.
Absolutely.
So what's it like Monday through Friday? Because you only have Saturday, Sunday.
That's really, really tough because being a teacher is tricky because there's so much to do both throughout the day and then when the workday ends. So I'm not just there till 3:30 most days. I'm taking a lot of work home with me. So those days, like people are like, oh, you only work till 3:30. That's awesome. Like you could go to the beach afterwards or you could, but normally I'm there for a while and then I like to prioritize working out. So I have to work out. By the time I do that, eat dinner, the night is pretty much has come to a close. So Monday through Friday is pretty much, it's tough to even socialize. It's tough to do a lot of things that like I just genuinely enjoy. Well, definitely movement is my one thing that I try to get in that I enjoy every day. But
Well, that's good.
the weekend is what's tough is the weekend is my only time to socialize. But I also need time to decompress. And like I also need time to get things done. So I really struggle. I feel like I was just telling Jewel this the other day. I'm like, I go MIA. Like when the summer comes, I feel like I just come alive again. I'm like calling all my friends up. I'm like, she's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, because it's hard. I always say there needs to be 3-day weekend for all jobs, every job.
Yeah.
Because you need
That
one
is
day to
hard.
rot. You need one day to do all your errands, clean up, clean the house. And you need one day to socialize and do something fun. So
Yeah, it's true.
if I were
It's hard.
president, everyone would have a 3-day weekend. And root beer
Max for
floats would be
president.
banned. Oh! Max for president. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. She looked cute when she did that.
It's okay. I
She was
get
like-
it.
Okay. So,
Whoa.
not ribbon. Remember when you lost ribbon?
I did lose ribbon. I was heartbroken. I
Jewel never loses her cool. Except one time.
Jewel never loses her.
We're on my bachelorette trip, and I look at Jewel. Jewel looks like she saw a ghost, right? And I'm like, Julianna, what is wrong? Are you all right? She's like, where is it? Where is it? And I was like, what? She's like, no, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this. And I'm like, oh my God. She like, something wrong. Something is super wrong. Like she just lost her driver's license or her keys to her Bronco, or she lost her phone or something. She's like, it's ribbon. And I'm like, ribbon? Like the road lip gloss is what she lost. And she was like, I always keep it right here. I don't know where it is. And she was beside herself for a really long time. But they came back in stock. She got her ribbon bag.
Things stay strapped.
But she's literally she's
put it
just
in my
not the
pocket.
type of person that panics like ever. And she was panicked. And I was like, whoa, this must be something really crazy.
I was devastated.
No, I get it. That's why I bought the case. People think this is ridiculous, but these things are expensive. And not only are they expensive, but they go out of stock. You can't just like buy them all the time.
Yeah.
So if you
They're
be losing them,
precious.
it's sad.
Thanks.
So I like to keep it. No, I get it. I just thought it was funny because you don't
It's
really
funny.
like panic about stuff.
Well,
Like even if you feel like super dizzy or like if you feel like I don't know something
I'm
like
oh, I'm gonna pass out. Just give me a second. I'll
yeah,
come
she's
right
just
back.
like, hold up, I'm gonna just pass out real quick. And like for me, I'm like, oh, I'm dizzy. Help me. You know what I mean? So when she was
Yeah.
like, where is it? What do I do? I'm like, wait. But it was just road.
That is so funny.
it was-
Great story.
So we were talking about balancing
Balancing.
our wellness routines, balancing all of that with a full-time job, or if you're like really busy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're pretty good. I will toot our own horn for a sec
Toot toot.
at
Mm-hmm.
making things a habit, which I think is the secret sauce to being
Yes.
successful. Make it
Yes,
a
yes,
habit.
Yes.
I've lost a lot of weight in my life, and everyone asks me, what's your secret? How'd you do it? I'm like, it's more mental than anything. Like anything I've ever accomplished, I feel it has more to do with your brain and making things a habit than it does with anything else. Like I just reach for healthier food. I made it a habit. I just did it and did it and did it until you don't even think about it anymore.
So true.
And movement, just like now I think of it as it's just part of my day. Like I wake up, I brush my teeth. You brush your teeth every day. I brush my teeth. I work out. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it becomes part of you the more you do it. So I think that is just the secret to being successful in anything, whatever your goals are.
100%.
So there are some habits that definitely I'm trying to incorporate more.
Yes. Let's talk
So
about it.
let's talk now about what we're working on. So we've had some good habits incorporated, and it can be easy to forget because sometimes I'm like, oh,
Yes.
I look on TikTok and I'm like, why don't I look like this girl? Why aren't I doing this? But you also have to reflect on like what you do have. There's millions of habits that we do every single day, and there are so many good ones in with the bad. And like for me, like I do journal, like at least try to even write one sentence of what I'm grateful for. Like that's a good habit. Or I don't know, just like things you wouldn't even notice, like even mental things. Every time I see something I like of someone's, I compliment them. Like that's a big habit. Like I think that's a good positive habit. So try to
Sure.
reflect on what your positive habits are and give yourself a little pat on the back.
Absolutely.
But one habit that I really need to drop is I say a lot of mean things about myself all the time. So I think something I'm really working on is loving myself more and talking nicely about myself. And my friend told me she saw this online that these two girls made each other Venmo $1 to one another whenever they said something mean about themselves. And I was like, that is it puts it into perspective. I mean, you don't actually have to do that, but think about Venmoing someone $1 or $5 every time you say a negative comment about yourself.
Yeah.
It would put it into major perspective. I would
So
be
true.
so broke.
I'd be so broke.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I am not nice to myself, so I need to be nicer to myself.
Love that.
What are you working on?
What am I working on? Just confidence and putting myself out there more. I've seen a
Yeah.
few people from like high school recently, like teaching spin and whatnot. And it's so funny because they'll be like, is this the same person I went to high school with?
Aw.
Like, what? Like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, this is so awesome.
So in
like,
regards
just
to what? Oh, like with spin.
like like on being on social media and doing spin and
Yeah.
everything. So it's like Just like putting
Because were
myself
you
out there.
more known as like more reserved, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes, I'm really trying to put myself out there.
So great.
Be a little bit of a bigger presence and, you know, all that good stuff. So that's something I'm working on, just being confident enough to be more out there. And
Yeah, I think that is awesome. It's really hard to put yourself out there. I mean, even just us doing this, us doing spin, us posting, we both like to post like TikToks and make videos is something that really brings us joy. Like all these things really bring us joy. And I really feel like I try to remind myself of this, and maybe it's just something that I made up in my head, but whatever. I feel like when you're in your like highest form of joy, it's naturally going to make other people cringe. Do you know what I mean? So,
true.
like, if people are cringing at you, making fun of you, talking about you, I think it just means that you're doing something you really enjoy. Like, you know what I mean? Or that you're putting yourself out there. You're doing something that takes guts. You know what I mean? Naturally, it doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. People are going to talk about it. People are going to, not everyone's going to find it cool. Some people are going to find it weird or cringy or whatever. So I think
that's true.
That's something I need to forget about too, is like what other people think, because
100%.
yeah, if it brings you that joy,
then who cares?
You better keep doing it.
You better keep doing it.
Absolutely, because I feel like everything that I really enjoy is like when I'm like really enjoying myself spinning, I'm like geeking out, like dancing on the bike or like posting my little vids. Like obviously it's a little cringeworthy, but I'm just enjoying myself. I feel like it's just, I don't know.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to stop.
Absolutely.
So Jewel and I were actually talking about this. The 3 things that we're trying to embrace this summer are, I came up with this one because I work with so many kids, but like embracing our inner child is one. Embracing girlhood to the max for the most electric summer of your life. And then embracing imposter syndrome. And we can like dive in a little bit to like each one of those things, but I'll talk a little bit about the child one. I think it kind of all stemmed when I was rewatching my wedding video. My sisters gave me a compliment that I didn't even realize was a compliment, and it meant a lot to me, and I didn't realize it until I heard it. Most people forget the magic of childhood, but Maggie has dedicated her life to creating it. So that was
Aww,
really
that.
sweet. And I always feel like I've been insecure about that side of me because I'm always looked at like a baby, or I'm always looked at like immature. I'm always looked at, you know what I mean? And I always try to prove myself to other people. Like, I'm responsible. I have a full-time job. I'm really good at this. I'm really like, I feel like I always try to fight to prove myself to people because of that, because I'm goofy and I'm like a giant child. But it's, when you look at it positively, I was like, that's really special.
That is special.
I, trying to embrace that, because when I watch the kids all the time, they're so stoked about everything they do. They just wake up in the morning. They're like, this is going to be the most electric day of my life. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I get to see my teacher. I get to see my friends. I get to play outside. I get to go down this slide. I get to eat this Rice Krispie treat. Do you know what I mean? So, and you were saying that too, about instead of like the mentality of, I have to go.
Yes. Being more open-hearted versus closed-hearted. Like, oh, I have to go do this today. I have to go to work. I get to go to work. I get to work out. I get to be free. I get to walk, So just puts things into perspective for you,
Yeah. I like wrote down a few notes that I can read about this because I can't even think straight, but I just wrote down like they're always bursting with joy over the smallest things. Getting time to be outside, play, planting a flower. Like I told them we were going to we had a cup, styrofoam cup. They got to decorate a face on it. And then we put dirt in the cup and grass seed, and the grass grew and made like hair. So that was the most exciting thing. They were putting dirt in a cup.
Like
and
a
it was
chia
just
pet?
like, yeah, like a chia pet. Exactly. And they were bursting at the seams, so excited to work with their hands and do things and just live life. And like I realized that kids embrace life every second of every day. And as we grow, most of us avoid it. Like we scroll on our phones, we binge watch TV, we ignore text, we cancel plans, we don't want to cook. Planting, like that sounds like a ton of work. So like I get that we lose energy as we get older, but does it have to be that way, or are we just giving into all the energy drainers in our life, like our screens and like gossip, and for me like caffeine and sugar and like all of these things that just take your energy away, when really they're embracing all of the beautiful parts of life, like getting
Aw,
out in the
so
sunshine and
cute.
like
Yeah.
they're just, I don't know. So like tapping into your inner child, like getting more like into play, like go have fun, go plant a flower, go
I love that.
read a book, go
Yes.
hang with a friend. Like really, you know, it's special to have fun and to like still like play
Mm-hmm.
even as
Isn't
an
that
adult.
the truth? Absolutely.
So that is something that I'm trying to embrace this summer. Like today we went on a field trip to the rides and I was right in there with them. Like both hands up. Woo! Like living my best life. So
Oh.
just acting like a big kid sometimes is just the way to do it. There's a lot to be learned from kids. They're so forgiving and they're so, I don't even know. I could go on. I have like paragraphs about this. I just working with kids can be really eye-opening sometimes. Like they're so grateful for everything. They just suck the most out of life. They wake up excited. It's a new day. What are they going to get to do today? Who are they going to get to see?
Oh.
And yeah, it's sweet and it's inspiring.
I love that.
Yeah.
Feeling inspired.
Yeah. For sure.
Very good. That's very good.
For sure.
I think another important thing we can kind of finish off here with is like imposter syndrome, like embracing imposter syndrome. Because there's been so many points. If you really just sit here right now and reflect, we were talking about this today in Spin.
Yeah, this is so cool. This is what I say literally every time there's an inspo part. I talk about this.
I literally
right, I'm ready.
like just
Putting myself there. Give it to me.
I always say how like be proud of yourself for how far you've come. I want you to sit right now and reflect on all the things you've already accomplished, because I feel like we're always like looking ahead, like what is next? What can I do next? Like, oh, I already did that. Like we forget like how bad we wanted what we have right now. Like
exactly
your job, like getting through school, like whatever it may be. Like, and you're like, wow, like I'm really doing that. And then kind of it gets like not on the back burner, but you kind of get used to it. Maybe that's what it is. Like
that's
it just
exactly
becomes a
what
part
it
of
is.
like every day, and you're like, oh, like I need
dreamed of
something like more. You know?
having yes, yeah. The more thing you get, like almost, I don't know, obsessed with level,
Which
getting
is
to the
not
next level.
bad.
No,
But you also need to like take time and just be like, wow, like I really did come so far. Like, you know, just remind yourself, be proud, because it's all good stuff.
and I always say in every single class, I always say sometimes too, when you're working to the next goal or whatever you want to do or whatever you want to accomplish, you can get frustrated when you're not looking like that professional like right away.
Right,
or like when you don't get it right away. And it's really about just like progress. Like I say this every single time, so it's overdone if you've been in one of my classes, but like I always say, you're not like swan diving out of the comfort zone. You inched your way out. Like it's even with spin. I relate everything to spin because it's such an easy analogy, but we used to sit in the back. We didn't want anyone to see us. But you, little by little, you make a little change each time, and you don't even recognize yourself. And it's so small. Like same with losing weight. Same with anything, building muscle, whatever it is. You're changing little by little. You don't even recognize the change until you really take a step back and say,
Exactly.
"Whoa,
Yeah.
look at where I started."
Yes.
Like I started in the back, and I couldn't even stand out of the saddle for like 2 seconds and now I'm sprinting for 30 seconds or whatever it is. It's just the tiniest change. You don't even recognize it day to day. But when you look back in like a year or a month or it's crazy to see where you come. You don't even recognize yourself. So yeah, definitely just, you're not going to go to a fitness class and look like the instructor on the first day you're there. So don't push yourself too hard or to get these goals, but just inch your way out, make a little tiny change. And that translates into your life too.
Yeah.
Like all these things that we mentioned, all these wellness things, we've been into this for years. You're not going to watch a TikTok of some wellness girl and then try to implement all of her wellness techniques the next day. You need to start one step at a time. You're going to inch your way there. You just pick one thing. Just pick writing a sentence of gratitude. Start with that. Make that a habit and then build from there. So that's
very true.
Definitely. Yeah. That's definitely a good way to put it, because I used to get so down on myself, like looking on TikTok, like all these people with these perfect wellness routines. How do they do it? But it's like, it's one step at a time.
So start with something. Just start one thing after today. Just one thing, okay? And you build and you grow.
Imposter syndrome is really crazy, for sure.
Yes.
But like we were saying, like embrace it. It may feel weird when you achieve that thing that you want. Like I have the worst imposter syndrome when I became a teacher and when I became a spin instructor, because I was like,
agreed.
What am I doing here?
Right.
Like, really, what am I doing here?
Right.
These people don't want to learn how to be fit for me, but just embracing, like, you know what? I'm here. I deserve to be here just as much as anyone else. And I worked for this. I got it. And just like having that confidence, like embrace the imposter syndrome. You know what? Like fake it till you make it. And that is the way that you do it.
Absolutely. With anything in life.
Yeah.
100%. Like being a new grad, like I went right into a job after college, and it was really hard.
Can't imagine.
Just like with any job though, like being the new person, being the new grad, especially like being like the one to have to like ask people questions and not know everything, it can be like tough almost, because you're like, oh, I just want to be competent enough to like where I feel confident to like come into work every day and like not be like freaking out like, what am I going to get? What am I going to deal with?
What's really beautiful is not knowing everything.
Yeah.
I think, and one of my administrators actually at my job told me that. They were like, which is if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a nurse, if you're looking to get a full-time job or you just graduated or anything, don't act like you know it all, because they actually said
that's worse.
They liked that. They were like, we liked how you didn't pretend to know what we were talking about, because they asked me about something and I said, I actually don't know what that is, but I'm willing to learn.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think just the willingness to get better and knowing that you're not the best, knowing that you don't know it all.
No. And to this day, like 2
and
years
wanting
in
to
or
learn
whatever,
more,
like
being curious. Yeah.
Like you're not gonna ever know it all.
Never.
Like, never. So, like
especially in spin too, I just think there's just so much to learn. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop learning about it and wanting to get better.
Right. So
and,
really just
that was hard though when you were a new grad and you step into the emergency room. What's that like? Like, that's really so scary.
Crazy. I just feel like this applies with like anything, but like you really don't like learn or like experience things until you're like in it. Like school and like books and watching things can only teach you so much, but like you really don't learn until you're like in it. Like
that is so true. I say that too. Like when we had, so my teaching program was 4 years, and then 3 of the years you're just sitting in a classroom taking notes,
right,
learning about instruction, and then the last year you do your student teaching. Oh, you do some observation hours and you learn a little bit there. You get to see a real classroom, but you do not learn a thing until that door closes and it's just you with your class. Or that you get into that hospital and you need to put a IV in someone. My stomach is growling.
Exactly.
But that is the realest thing ever.
It's true. So
you have to, the experience is the thing that's really going to teach you. So don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to not know, because no matter what everybody else around you is saying or acting like, they were once in that position, whether they forget it or not.
Exactly.
Because I'm around a lot of people who sometimes act like they know it all or act like they've never been like new at something before. And that's not true. They were once in these shoes. Everybody was. So it's just, don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to not know it all. It's not embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I used to be like, oh, this is
100%.
so embarrassing. Like I can't, like I couldn't get my class to be quiet, and like they were walking all over me, or like I couldn't get them to line up right. Like of course I couldn't. I just walked off my college campus like 2 hours ago. Do you know what I mean? So I've never done it before.
Right.
Like it's okay.
Right. It's okay.
Or even 4 years later. Okay, today was rough. It's almost summertime. There are a bunch of kids, and it's like giving yourself grace is important in any job.
Right. And when you finally get to that position, that's when the imposter syndrome really hits, and you're like, am I really? And it's like, yes, you are. You really are. So you either embrace it fully, or you're just going to keep denying it, be in your head and not have the confidence.
We are bad about that,
Yeah.
Joel. We
Yeah.
are in our heads a lot. And
admit
we
it.
will talk each other out of it. Like,
Yes.
when she's in her head, I think she sounds ridiculous. And when I'm in my head, she thinks I sound ridiculous. It is funny seeing it from another perspective. Because like, Joel, how could you ever think that about yourself? You're perfect. No one dislikes you. You are so likable.
No.
Like, I genuinely believe that about her. And when I'm in my head, she's like, what? What are you talking about?
Right. Like,
it is crazy
yeah.
the way you can, when you see it from someone else's perspective.
Just being hard on yourself.
But that was a really good point about feeling like embarrassed or feeling like you don't know it all, and it's scary.
It is scary.
Like, it's even just taking a fitness class. Like, when I first took my first spin class, I was like, that was mortifying. I don't know anything.
And
Like,
really
of course I didn't. I never did it before. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to not, you don't have to be embarrassed.
Right.
To not know.
Exactly.
And I actually think it's cool when people are like, I don't know about this, and I'm gonna learn more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get better.
Absolutely.
A little bit of growth mindset.
Exactly. There's always room to grow. Always.
So
that was just a little bit. That was a little bit into
that was a little bit all over the
more
place.
serious side.
Yes, I know.
Of us. Because we a little goofy sometimes.
Absolutely.
But balance, right? Gotta have a little goof and a little seriousness.
Gotta have a little goof in the mix. I feel like what you can expect from us is a little bit of everything. Like today, we did want to sit down and kind of talk about some things that we're working on and for the summer and get a little deep with it.
Absolutely. So, well, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Gals Night. It was so much fun talking with you guys and being a little bit more on the serious side, but keeping it lighthearted at the same time. We had so much fun.
Yes, we always do. Let us know if you guys like this episode or what you guys want to hear about. We are willing to talk about anything and everything. Anything goes on Gals Night. But that's all we have for today. So, later, home gals.
Bye.
Bye.